Hello, so this is something a little bit different. It's me in front of the camera instead of behind it for a change. Today I want to show you how to make a mini skein. I've seen quite a few videos on YouTube and they're all quite complicated with measuring and weighing and calculating stuff. But I like to do it this way because you don't need to do any maths or any calculations. All you need is a reasonably accurate digital scale and a Swift. So here I've got a very basic sunflower, made by Sunflower Swift, but the ones with the spindles, they also work just the same. So what you will need to do is, if you've got a skein of yarn, you'll have to wind it into a cake first, or a ball. If you've got a hand wound ball, you'll need to put the ball in a bowl before you start spinning on the Swift, otherwise it will just bounce off everywhere. So I'm doing the Posh Yarn Advent Swap, which means I've got to make 24 10-gram mini skeins. So, but obviously you could use this method for any weight, 5 grams, 20 grams, or even very specific weights. So I'm going to do centre pull, and what you need to do is set the yarn on your scales and then tear it to 0, which on mine I just have to hold the button down for a bit. Okay, so the principle is I'm just going to wind off 10 grams of yarn. So when my scale says minus 10, it means I've wound the right amount. So it's not very sophisticated, it's quite straightforward, it doesn't involve any complicated calculation. So with my Swift, which is quite basic, it's just got these little wooden pegs, I just start off by wrapping the start of the skein around one of the pegs just to secure it, and then I'm basically just winding the yarn, went a bit fast there, winding the yarn onto my Swift, keeping an eye on the scales. Obviously there's a bit of weight variation where I'm sort of holding and pulling the yarn in my left hand. As I get closer to 10, it's now 9, minus 9, minus 9, 10. Then I'm just going to give it one extra just to make sure. There's the beginning. Beginning's here. Need my scissors, which I don't have, so I'm just going to break that. It's easy. Undo this end, and then I'm just going to wrap the two ends round each other, and then wrap round all the strands and tie a double knot. Then take my yarn off the Swift, and I'm holding it through the middle at both ends. And I found that with the mini skein size I'm doing, I need to do 11 twists. So this is a bit of trial and error when you've done a couple. First one might be too baggy, second one might be too tight, but I found 11. So I'm inserting my index fingers in the end, and I'm twisting in opposite directions with each hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it does seem quite tight, and you don't want to do it too tight because you might damage the integrity of the yarn by stretching it too much. But as you can see, once you release your hands in towards each other, it just naturally starts to twizzle around itself. So I'm just going to keep my finger transfer the left hand one onto the right hand, keeping my finger in the loop, and then I'm just going to gently tease the twizzles, pulling them, and as you can see, they naturally fall into a nice twist. And then the ends sometimes are a little bit looser, so I just give each end one extra twist and then tuck one end into the other. And there you have your, you can trim off that if you like, there you have your mini skein.